What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful day today. Perfect temperature. No breeze. Maybe I want to say point 0.18 miles per hour west to east. Yeah, that's what it is. So got some steak here. Beef loin. Prime cut. It's a prime, not too big. Hey, put salt and pepper on it, and I'll be cooking it pretty shortly. I have the grill going over there. Later on, I have some nice cacao. Make some chocolate milk later on in the evening. Not now. Red Dutch processed cacao powder, 100% unsweetened. So check that out. Highly recommend this product. Love hot chocolate. I remember as a kid going ice skating, and at the skating rink, and then after that they would have some guy on the side there with a big container, and you would go and for, I don't know, like 20 cents you'd get a little cup and you'd sip it in the corner and warm up. You'd warm up and then you'd go back on the ice. So be cooking that soon. Look at that. Good marbling. Lufkin measure. This is a what is that, 6-footer. Look at that. My father used this 1966 on. His favorite. I never saw him using a tape measure. This is what he used, one of these. And then if it was like 15 feet, he would just, roll it over, keep going. Put this in the back pocket, but that was his measuring thing. So I was thinking about the movie First Blood, the first one, not the other stuff that became asinine after, but the first one. And I suppose the first one was asinine too, but they cut out a lot of the ridiculous dialogue. And I was thinking, a lot of people don't know this, but the reason why Teasel, the sheriff, gave Rambo such a hard time is jealousy. At the time, all the Vietnam veterans were getting the attention, and some of it not good attention, but they were getting all the attention, and the Korean War veterans were forgotten. It was like the silent war, almost like it never happened. And Teasel was a Korean War veteran, and I think he had animosity towards Rambo because of that reason, that here you are, you fought your war, you come back and all the attention is on you, and here we are, we're forgotten, nobody cares. Not like they cared about the Vietnam veterans either. I mean, they had a hard time when they came back as well. But most people don't know that, but if you pay attention to the movie, you will notice that when they're shooting the scenes in Teasel's office, you will see that he was a Korean War veteran. It's on his desk area there. And the other thing I was thinking about is, like, if he just ignored Rambo, I mean, he was, for some reason, Teasel was fascinated with showers, or baths, actually, baths. As he pulls into the town area there, that old guy, I don't know what he is, a construction worker, he walks in front of Teasel and he asks him if he took a bath this week. I don't know why he's fixated on whether somebody took a bath, but he asks him, and then later on, he tells, after Rambo's arrested, he tells the sheriff's in there to wash him up because he smells like an animal. To me, it did not look, now you can't smell it through the screen, but he didn't have that look of a guy smelling like an animal. I've seen people that look worse than him, and they didn't smell like an animal. So, and why couldn't they tell him, go take your own shower? Was he going to refuse that? I don't want to take a bath. I don't want to take a shower. I want to smell like an animal, which I don't think he smelled like an animal. But you know, since when is it the police department's duty to give you a bath in order for you to go in front of a judge? You know, and the shave. The shave to me was ridiculous. I mean, it wasn't like he had some, you know, weird thing growing, like, you know, and he said, oh, the judge can't see you with a beard. And why not? Why not? So they picked the straight blade, straight edge, you know, to shave him with. Get the guy sharpening it up there, and then he's, you know, ready to do the lather, and Rambo's resisting because he's having flashbacks. I mean, that really gave you a flashback? But anyway, it could, all right? So, but why are they trying to shave him? Like, I would be saying to him, you know what? If you want, there's some showers down there. Here's a towel. Here's a bar of soap. Ivory. If you want to wash up, that's up to you. If not, that's up to you. But to force him, I don't know, that was weird. And the guy, what is it? Fire hose. The fire hose. So, you know, there's a few things in that movie that, you know, kind of strange. The whole thing that they have to make him presentable. I mean, is that the way it was in the 70s, 80s? Because the movie came out in the 80s. That you had to look a certain way in order to go to court. I mean, I would think you would do it just to get a little bit of a sympathy thing going there, that the judge will say, oh, there's a clean guy over here. I don't think he's a lawbreaker because he looks clean. I know people that are clean. They've broken the law. I don't know what that you know, has to do with anything. But, you know, would the judge refuse him into the courtroom if he didn't take a shower? It's like, get out of my courtroom. You smell like an animal. I don't know. I found that was like asinine. Smelled like an animal line. And then the other thing, I mean, I'll be random about this. They're not going to be in order. But the other thing is when he kills that wild boar with the knife, puts the knife on a long stick, then jumps down and kills the boar. That's a messy, I know you're hungry, but that's messy. So he cuts it, he gets the entrails out and cleans it out somehow and gets the fur out of the way, and then he has a nice fire going. Now they're looking for you, and you have a fire going, you know, that's, you know, first of all, the smoke. But not only that, if they're flying overhead with night vision, they're going to pick you up. Get that thermal camera going, and they're going to see a hot spot, and they're going to see it's right there. You can pick that up. You can pick up a fly, you know. So anyway, that's another thing. I was like, how dumb is he that he's cooking with that big fire? That was a huge fire. You know, and then he's cutting it up, enjoying himself there. You know, meantime, his hands must be full of bacteria from cleaning the insides out of this animal, you know, and then he's eating, and I don't know how he cleaned his hands. You know, you touch the entrails, and your hands are going to be loaded with disgusting bacteria. You know, streptococcus crawling up your fingers, and there you are eating, you know. So that, and then, now I've been to the locations where the movie was shot because I'm a fan of the movie. And that tree is no longer there, the one he jumps off the cliff, and then he smashes on the branches. First of all, I don't know, if I were running like that, I would not go in a straight line because they'd follow you, you know. I would go like the other way, nighttime. By the time they get, you know, he kills the two dogs, so they're following him with human noses, right? So, you know, go a different way. Why are you going to the cliffside? And why'd they catch up to him that fast? By the time they, you know, radioed for help and all that, he should have been like 10 miles away. You know, he should have been out of there. But so then he jumps, and the tree, you know, all the branches hit him, the ribs, and I think he actually broke a rib in that movie in real life. But not a good strategy. Then he jumps down, and the other nut, Galt, in the helicopter, shooting at him. You know, that's attempted murder. What kind of cop is this? I mean, this cop earlier in the movie, he shoots at Rambo where there's a crowd of people, And if not for Teasel pulling the gun up, or the rifle, he would have shot someone else. You know, and then Rambo steals the bike, takes off, does a jump over the railroad tracks. You know, but for me, it was the solitary life of this man. It reminded me kind of like Kung Fu. David Carradine's character, roaming around by himself, had these amazing skills which don't exist in real life, and just kept to himself, did not bother anybody. They bothered him, he would pull out the Kung Foolish, and he would beat them up. And that's how I saw the Rambo character, you know, especially that police scene in the where they're trying to shave him and he beats them all up. There's a shot of that guy, I don't know, I forget his name now, where he puts him in like a headlock, and then he hands him his hand, and then Rambo grabs the hand and flips him over. Like, since when? Why didn't they edit that part out? You clearly see him giving his hand, like, pull me over now. Flips him over, gives him a nice shot in the ribs there. The other guy breaks the nose with an elbow, and that's real. That was not intended to go that way, but he gave him an elbow and broke the nose. The other guy gets tossed out the window, runs up the stairs while the other guy is opening up the door. That's what the door is for, to keep anybody in there who has, you know, overcome, you know, the police officers. And he's running up the stairs. The door's there to stop him from getting out. This guy opens up the door. Rambo shoves him away. But, you know, I like the movie The Knife, though. You know, when I was younger, I saw that knife and I said, I like that knife. That's a sharp knife. You could sew your arm up. You go fishing. Has a compass. But when you get that knife in real life, you realize that hollow-handled knives are horrible. I feel like I just said women weaken legs, but yeah, hollow-handled knives are horrible. They don't have good balance. Plus the blade, the material the blade was made out of was cheap. You know, that's not a good knife. Not a good knife. And not only that, instead of putting it in a safe spot in the police department there, they put it in an area where he jumps over the desk there and he grabs the knife in the process. You know, and then he's got that, what is it, National Guard? They go after him. Those guys do not look like they can capture a rabbit. I mean, it's just horrible actors. I don't know why they used those guys in that movie, but it was horrible. And then he gets trapped in that cave. Then there's some kid hunting. There's a scene with a kid hunting, and Rambo grabs the rifle from him and tosses it, and the kid gets up. He's like, pop, pop, pop. There's a hummingbird right there. I put some food out. The hummingbird found it. To Kill a Mockingbird. Good book. But anyway, yeah. And then they do some shots in there, and then Robert A is the guy that drives a deuce and a half, and Rambo says to him, "What's your name?" He goes, "Robert A." It says, "Robert A, what do you got in the back?" I think he said M16s. There's a shot of that. Clearly, there's nothing in the back. At one point, it's empty, so I don't know what he's carrying back there. Nothing. And then another scene I always wondered about, the scene in the bar where Teasel meets Colonel Trotman, and he basically gives his condolences, says, you know, things happen like that. But Trotman, I guess, is suspicious. He thinks that Rambo, he got out of there, because he sees smoke coming out of the, if you notice the scene where he's looking at the cave area, he looks and he sees a little bit of smoke. That's from Rambo lighting that torch under there. Conveniently, there was gasoline, there was, you know, the knife he had, and he had the rags in his head. He'd pull them out, wrap them around, and gasoline, or diesel, whatever that was. So he hung around, but I was always curious what kind of scotch that was, or whiskey, whatever they're sipping on right there. But I've been to that town many years ago, and I took a walk around. Beautiful place. Hope, British Columbia. I did the whole walk. I went to the place where he jumps off the cliff. There's concrete under there. I don't think he fell there, but that's, you know, you jump off the cliff, there's all like concrete. Used to be an old railroad station there. And I've been to that forest area. I've been to the river, where the river is. I've been to the spot where the police department was. That was a fake police department. I've been to the Chevron station where Teasel approaches Rambo. I've seen the you know, entering Hope, that log. I've seen that. That's on the ground now. I've walked over the bridge, which, good thing I did, because that bridge does not exist anymore. They updated it. They should have kept the bridge and put the new one next to it. That way people would go and say, yeah, there's that bridge. But I got to see it, walked over it a couple of times. The funny thing about the bridge is that the town that Teasel is the sheriff in is actually in the direction he's driving him. So they're coming from the opposite way, making it look like they're leaving the town. They're actually heading towards the town. So when Rambo spins around and goes the other way, and Teasel sees him in the rearview mirror, and he stops, reverses, and says to him, "Where do you think you're going? Where the hell do you think you're going?" He's actually leaving the town in reality. So I don't know why they shot it that way. It must have been a better, you know, visual. Yeah, but I love those kind of movies, survival kind of movies, with a touch of reality. I mean, if it's ridiculous where he turns into like a zombie and starts killing people because he has zombie powers, I do not like that. You know, I don't like those kind of movies. But if it's based in somewhat of a reality that I know, then it pulls me in. I enjoy it. Now, the other Rambos were, you know, okay for for entertainment, but they were ridiculous. The one in Afghanistan I did not like. That was too over the top, asinine. The one, the Vietnam one, the Part 2 one, just ridiculous. Like the things that he was able to accomplish, one man. I don't know, ridiculous. And then he went, where do you go? Burma. I don't know. I thought that one, I didn't like the cinematography on that one. And then the last one he did, the one where he went into Mexico, that was a little bit outrageous, a little over the top on that one. Thin story, very thin. Nobody asks him, how come he didn't report your, what was that, his niece or something? Or his housekeeper's daughter? How come you didn't report that she died? Just buried her on the property somewhere? Imagine, like, I don't know, your friend dies or something, and you don't report it. Like somebody killed him. You just put him in your truck, you drive him to your house, open up a hole in the ground, you put him in there, cover it up, and then you report the police, or you don't even say anything. I don't even know if the movie ever shows him telling the police that, you know, the housekeeper's daughter died. I think it's her daughter. Maybe it was her niece. But anyways, like some kind of relation there. I think it's his adopted daughter. Adopted. You know, and I mean, it's you know, he booby-trapped the whole place, screwed up his whole property. He could have just waited for them to walk in, and then as they're approaching, he could have just shot him with an automatic weapon. I mean, he's got access to all these other things. He should have had access to something like that. But he booby-traps the whole property. Now, I've been to the Rambo Ranch that they show at the end of Rambo 4, which was it called John Rambo? I've been to that one, because that one's out here. But when they shot the other one, the one with the Mexican sex slave one, that one was shot in Bulgaria. That's not the same place. But I've been to the original one a few times, not just once. I actually shot a video there, and inside the video, they put a gate up, because I guess people were going there. They found out where the place was. I don't tell anybody where the place is, so it's not for me. Although, I will say that somebody discovered it through me. Anyway, when I went the first time, they had a gate there, and on the this gate area, the gated area, they have a sign, tells you no trespassing, but it also had a phone number. And some filmmaker saw my video and contacted the owner of that ranch and asked him if he could do an interview, and the guy agreed, and so you could go on YouTube and find it. But that interview happened because I found the place, and that guy saw the number, because he sent me a message and he said I was able to get that interview because I saw the phone number on the gate on your video. So go watch it if you haven't watched it. It's a good video. Anyway, like I said, I'm a fan of that movie. I'm also a fan of The Deer Hunter. Love The Deer Hunter. The movie came out in '77. It was up for Picture of the Year, but Rocky beat it, and Rocky got Picture of the Year. Although, you know, Deer Hunter deserved it. Very good movie. They both deserve it. You can only give it to one, though, and they chose Rocky, which was a very good movie. But Deer Hunter, also a very good movie. Good theme song on that. But I'm a big fan of The Deer Hunter. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna cook the steak on the fire, and that's it for now. Ciao. All right, I'm back. All right, it's done. Have some fresh water here with ice. Delicious. So we're gonna cut into the steak and figure it out here. Pink. Smells really good. Delicious. Very good. Two inches. Two by 8. That's delicious. I got it at Bristol Farms. Very good, very good, very juicy, very soft, very tender, not chewy. Anyway, that's it for now. Ciao.